This is Autoline Daily, the show dedicated to enthusiasts of the global automotive industry. Herbert gets to keep his job at Volkswagen. That came out of a press conference today with Hans-Dieter Poch, the chairman of the supervisory board, Daniela Carvalho, the top labor representative of the board, and Mr. Diess himself. While they all put on a brave face, it's clear there's still tensions between management and labor. Interestingly, Daniela Carvalho admitted some jobs will no longer be needed as the company transitions to electric cars. She said the company will provide good early retirement packages for them, and she said labor will cooperate with VW to achieve its productivity targets. Herbert Diess wants to slash assembly time by 1/3 to match Tesla's productivity. He also said he was worried that Volkswagen wasn't going to be moving fast enough, but is now satisfied that that's been resolved. So our early take is, it looks like Herbert Diess won a major victory. GM is rolling out more details on its EV onslaught. It's investing $160 million at its Orion assembly plant in Michigan to build battery packs, no doubt using GM's Ultium batteries. The Detroit News reports construction starts next summer, and it will be completed in 2025. That plant currently makes the Bolt EV and EUV and the new battery packs. And here's our Autoline insight. GM says it's going to have an assembly plant dedicated to making electric trucks. Well, GM's Flint assembly plant that makes trucks is not far from the Orion battery pack line. So it would be a short haul to ship battery packs from Orion to Flint. Earlier this year, the Biden administration announced plans to replace the federal government's fleet of vehicles with electric models. And now the president is putting that proposal into effect. Yesterday, Biden signed an executive order to end the purchase of ICE vehicles by 2035. Light-duty vehicles the government purchases will be zero emission by 2027. There are 650,000 vehicles in the government's fleet, and it buys about 50,000 vehicles annually.
We want to know what drives your testing. OTA, connected car, diagnostics, remote testing. Intrepid Control Systems is here to help you work from anywhere. Intrepid Control Systems, driven by your data.
Mercedes is the first automaker to get approval for a Level 3 autonomous system in Germany. It's launching under the name Drive Pilot as an option for the new S-Class in the first half of next year. The system consists of surround sensors, LiDAR, a camera, microphones for detecting emergency vehicles, and an HD map, which is updated via a back-end connection and compared to navigation and what the car's sensors are seeing. Then on top of all of that, it also has redundant systems for the steering and braking, as well as the electrical system. Mercedes doesn't say what it will cost, but it sure doesn't sound like a cheap system to us. Right now, there's only about 13,200 kilometers, or roughly 8,200 miles, where Drive Pilot will operate, and it won't go above speeds of 60 kilometers an hour, or about 37 miles per hour. While that may not seem very fast, we still think the handoff between human and car will be clumsy and complicated. Mercedes says the driver must be ready to take over control at all times, but it will also allow the driver to shop online or respond to emails from the center display screen. In other major markets like the US and China, where Mercedes is also testing Drive Pilot, are going to keep a close eye on how well that handoff goes. And it could be a while before agencies trust humans to do the right thing. In the US right now, NHTSA is discussing with Tesla about a feature it released this summer that allows passengers to play video games on the front screen even while the vehicle is in motion. The system asks the user to confirm that they are a passenger, but anyone can press it, and the worry is a driver could easily get distracted. The key to chopping down the cost of electric cars is to get massive manufacturing scale. So the giant supplier Schaeffler is spearheading a 3-year program with 17 different companies to manufacture electric motors more efficiently. The project is called Agilo Drive 2, and it's funded by the German government with nearly 34 million euros. The idea is to move away from the rigid production lines and replace them with highly flexible digitized modules, which are easily scalable and can be defined by software. Bentley now has the ability to independently certify its vehicles for emissions, fuel economy, and electric range. It was given the power by Britain's Vehicle Certification Agency and will carry out the testing at a brand new engineering test center at its headquarters in England. Obviously, having to stick to strict standards, the facility features an advanced rolling road used to simulate different gradients, measure exhaust emissions from combustion engine cars, or electrical energy consumption from hybrids and electric vehicles, and it's able to do that across a wide temperature range. Bentley is going to be able to carry out these tests at a whole lot faster pace, and we expect more automakers to follow.
Mobility is becoming electric, connected, and autonomous, just like the manufacturing world. But will always be one thing: a reliable partner for our customers.
When an automaker like Stellantis says it's going to generate 4 billion euros in revenue from connected vehicle services and data monetization in just a few years, you never really get a sense of what those features will cost at an individual level. But now we have an idea. Polestar is offering a performance update that's available in a number of major European countries via an over-the-air update. It's only for Polestar 2 long-range dual motor models, but it adds 50 kilowatts or 68 horsepower and 20 newton meters of torque, which pushes the total output to 350 kilowatts or 476 horsepower and 680 newton meters or 502 pound-feet of torque. That knocks the 0 to 100 kilometer an hour time down to 4.4 seconds or just 1/10 of a second faster. It's that little of an increase because the extra power is only available from 70 kilometers an hour to 130 kilometers an hour, so you're really going to feel it at higher speed. Now for what you've all been waiting for: price. Polestar says on average the update costs about 1,000 euros, and you know what our question is going to be. Is that amount of performance worth 1,000 euros, or roughly $1,135, to you? It's not going to be for everyone, but Polestar says over 400 upgrades have been downloaded since it was launched in late November. That means it's generated over $400,000 in just a few weeks without selling a single vehicle. And now here's how Jeep plans to use connected technology to generate more money. They call it Freedom Connected, and it uses AR, HUDs, and OTAs. Well, let's put that in plain English. It uses augmented reality combined with head-up displays fed by over-the-air updates. Jeep owners will be able to download off-road trails onto their nav system, for a fee of course. They'll also be able to communicate with each other, even in remote areas, thanks to satellite connections. And that same V2V technology will allow them to run in platoons on the road or off. They're even going to offer a drone that can fly above your Jeep on off-road trails, lighting the way and presumably providing a video feed of what's up ahead. Elon Musk says the Biden administration should drop all subsidies for electric cars. He says they're not needed, but the LA Times points out that Elon got nearly $5 billion in subsidies for Tesla, SpaceX, and SolarCity. So are these wise words from the world's richest person, or is it the height of hypocrisy? That's the topic on Autoline After Hours this afternoon. Also, we'll have Jeff Stout from Yangfeng, who is one of our favorite technologists, and Craig Cole from CNET's Roadshow. It all gets going at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, and you're invited to pull up a front row seat. But that's a wrap for today. Thanks for tuning in.
Autoline Daily is brought to you by Bridgestone, solutions for your journey. Intrepid Control Systems, over-the-air engineering, boost your game. And by Schaeffler, we pioneer motion.